Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 35 of the Never Split Up podcast. My name's Nolan. That's Anthony. And happy Halloween, Anthony. This is the unofficial start to our Halloween season for the podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Yeah, it's spooky season. Started September 1st.
Yes, definitely. Did you get any of your decorations up yet? Your outside stuff?
No, I'm slacking. I've been too busy, but it's going to happen soon. I'm actually not the first one in my neighborhood. People already have it up, so I'm pretty pissed, but I'll get them up.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm not the first either. I've seen quite a few actually in my neighborhood and then up in other neighborhoods like where I work.
Yeah,
So that's cool to see. Yeah, it makes me happy too. I know you have a ton more of decorations to get up than I do. I don't go as hard as you do, so you should get those up soon. Make it worth your while.
It's a task.
Yeah. Yeah, but all right. This is episode 35, and we have a big one to kick off our spooky season. Last episode, we covered American Werewolf in London, and this time around, we are covering Saw, the original Saw, released in 2004, which, if you are a listener to the podcast, you know that I love this franchise dearly. During our franchise rankings, I had it pretty high up there, not to spoil anything, so go listen to that episode. And we also had another quick announcement. We took last week off. We skipped The Lost Boys. Ant's going to talk about that because that was his pick, but we ended up not covering it. If you want to just talk about that, Anthony.
Yeah, guys, I was really excited to cover The Lost Boys last week. Nolan's pick was American Werewolf in London, and mine was The Lost Boys for our little 80s end of summer duo. And I was feeling a little under the weather, allergies and everything last week, so I figured we'll just start fresh next summer with that so I can really hype it up and get into it, because that's a biggie movie for me, so I don't want to half-ass it. So we'll start fresh with Lost Boys to kick off next year's summer. And then we're just going to move into spooky season and get on with Saw this week.
Yeah, for sure. We were kicking around the idea of just delaying Lost Boys until like November, but you really got to cover that in the summer. I mean, that's really a summer movie. So
I didn't want to get like lost in the craze of Halloween anyway. It's a summer movie, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that'll be definitely something to look forward to kick off next summer. That's a great movie. So okay, cool. And I mentioned that this is the start of our spooky season. We're moving to back to weekly episodes, which we announced previously. So look out for that. We're starting with Saw. Do you want to cover real quick before we get into Saw our schedule leading up to Halloween? Because we have a lot of big episodes coming up.
Yes, we'll repost the schedule and we'll edit it as we shave some of the episodes off the list. We'll just keep reminding you guys of what's coming up on social media. But just to give you a run through now, so you guys can get excited and prepare for what's to come. Obviously this Wednesday we'll have our Saw 2004 episode drop. We're going to review it and discuss it right now. And then next week, to prepare for the new Exorcist movie, we're going to cover the original. So that'll drop next week. And then the following week, after the new Saw comes out, October 4th, we'll be dropping our Saw franchise rankings. So that's going to be a biggie. Get your lists ready, get your rankings ready. And then right before Friday the 13th in October, we're going to cover the original Friday the 13th.
Jeez.
And that will drop October 11th. Another biggie. And then we're really going to get into the Halloween spirit after that. The following week, we're going to do a little ranking lists of our favorite Halloween-themed horror movies. So that's going to drop October 18th. That'll be fun. I'm curious to see which ones make your top on that. So yeah, so guys, get your list of your favorite movies to watch on Halloween, or movies that evolve around Halloween. That'll be a good list. And then the following two after that are gonna be the biggest episodes we've ever done, aside from Scream. It's gonna be we're gonna review the original Halloween, which is gonna be huge. That's gonna be October 25th. And then on Halloween, we're gonna do a special episode, which is gonna be our Halloween franchise ranking. And I know if Twitter is any indication, people are gonna have some things to say about our rankings, because people are very sensitive about their Halloween rankings. So I'm excited to do that to end the Halloween season. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
so we got packed schedule.
Packed schedule, a lot to digest there. It's going to be one hell of a ride. I'm really excited for it. So you mentioned next episode will be Exorcist. The new movie, I believe, is direct sequel to the original, right? So that's why we're covering the original, to get that out of the way, to get you guys ready for the new Exorcist. I guess you'd call it like a sequel, whatever.
It's a requel, I guess, legacy sequel, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is huge. Yeah, I mean, so many bangers coming up. So definitely, guys, stay up to date because we're going to be doing these weekly. And if you fall behind, then you might miss one. And I have a feeling all these episodes are going to be really fun. So in the meantime, definitely follow us on Twitter. We don't plan on doing any more changes, but you never know, things pop up. Hopefully we can stick to the schedule, doing weekly. But as you see, we had to cancel Lost Boys. Hopefully we don't have to do anything like that. But to get the most up-to-date schedules and stuff, definitely follow us on Twitter and Instagram at neversplituppod. And give us a subscribe on YouTube as well. We're trying to get those numbers up. But I think that's it for the announcements. You have anything else, Ant, before we cover Saw?
No, let's get into Saw. Let's talk about some Saw.
Okay, great. Again, this is episode 35, the original Saw, 2004. Why don't we kick things off by getting our overall thoughts / I guess we do like a recommendation. I'll let you go first.
Okay. Do you want me to give a synopsis first, or?
Oh yeah. Go over the cast and the synopsis and all that.
Okay, let me do that. All right, so guys, everyone who's a horror fan knows James Wan now. This was his directorial debut. Him and his buddy. Again, if you're a horror fan, you know who Lee Whannell is too. He's a big name in horror too. They're very close Australian buddies. They made the short. They actually made like a little short Saw. And it turned it into this feature film, and it was obviously a huge success for them. It was a very indie movie made for, I think, just $1 million, and it ended up getting acquired by Lionsgate, and it made over $100 million worldwide, so hence they have like 18,000 of these movies now, kicked off a franchise. But the synopsis is two strangers awaken in a room with no recollection of how they got there, and soon discover they're pawns in a deadly game perpetrated by a notorious serial killer. Saw 2004. We got Carrie Elwes stars, Lee Whannell's in it. Obviously we have Danny Glover in it. We have, who else do we have in it? We have Shawnee Smith, your girl Shawnee Smith's in it. Tobin Bell. I mean, we obviously have Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
He's Jigsaw, so we have a good little cast here. And we have Michael Emerson. He's Zip. You can't forget Zip.
Yes.
So that's her. And actually, Monica Potter, she plays our main character, Dr. Gordon's wife. She's in The Last House on the Left remake. She's so awesome in that.
Oh, okay.
I knew her from a show my mom watched, Parenthood, on TV, but she's pretty good. I like her too. So yeah, got some good casting in this movie too for a little indie movie.
Yeah, that synopsis doesn't quite cover. I mean, it's really hard to do a synopsis. There's so many different like moving parts in this movie. It's mostly like a detective movie. So the synopsis kind of covers the two guys, Adam and Gordon, who are trapped in the bathroom. That's kind of one story, and then it also covers, Danny Glover and his character is Detective Tapp, and his partner Singh. Tapp and Singh love them as partners. Love Detective Singh. We'll get into that though. But that's pretty much that's. Without giving it away, I guess that's...
Yeah, no, it's hard until we get into it.
I know. All right, cool.
So overall thoughts, want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So this came out in 2004, so we were around 12 years old. So I can't remember. I think this was the only Saw I didn't see in the movie theater. I saw it right when it came out, like on DVD, because I heard about the hype in the theater, so I made my mom rent it like day one when it came out. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty great movie. And then those last 10 minutes happened, and my jaw was fucking on the floor. I mean, this movie is a great movie, but it's a horror classic because of that ending. It's a fucking one of the best horror endings. It's so damn good. I really, 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 really think that it's great, but I think that ending just solidifies it for me as being like fucking awesome. It's a good, people think Saw of torture porn, but the first one, it has gore, but it's really like a Detective 7-esque mixed with horror mystery, trying to figure out the puzzle kind of movie. It's not really hardcore trappy until we get to Saw 2. I'm not going to say if this is my favorite in the franchise because we're about to do a ranking in a couple weeks, so I don't want to give it away. But I think this movie's great. I do have nitpicks though. I mean, I don't like really critiquing people, but Cary Elwes, some of his shit in this movie is pretty cringy, some of his acting. I try my best to look over it, but every time I just shake my head at a couple scenes. But other than that, I think it's a nice tight movie with an all-timer ending. I mean, every time it's like the dun 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 dun. I just get hyped up with the score, the Charlie Clouser score. You can't have Saw without that. Hello Zep. Hello Zep is like an iconic classic horror theme at this point for me, and you can't get through an ending of Saw without that score. Yeah, I think for a directorial debut, James Wan like knocked this out of the park. I remember seeing the posters of like the cut off like foot, and I was just waiting for that scene to happen. I think like the tagline was like every piece has its puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is a really really awesome, great movie, and the first time I saw it, I'll never forget my reaction to the ending. I actually had my jaw like open, and I love showing it to someone for the first time after that, just because of the ending. It's so good. Yeah, great movie, great movie. I recommend it. Obviously, it's a good kickoff to this franchise.
Yes, for sure. You kind of touched on a lot of my initial thoughts. In addition to the ending, how you're saying the ending is what makes this kind of a classic.
Yeah.
I think the reason it did so well was the marketing was awesome. You talked about the poster and stuff, and even the trailers. I remember seeing the trailers. You said we were like 12 years old, 2004.
Yeah.
I remember like everyone was abuzz with this movie. Like it was so unique with the traps, the reverse bear trap. We'll get into the traps. So I think that's what kind of made it succeed, but it also is a great first installment for a franchise because while it did have the unique concept of the traps and everything, I actually like how it wasn't at the forefront. Like we get in some of the sequels, It kind of stayed grounded in a way, and like you said, it's more of a detective story. And you had those traps, but most of them were flashbacks, and you kind of just get quick montages. I like that a lot, especially for a first installment. And I also like that it's not, you know me, I'm a villain guy. I like how it's not an origin story either for Jigsaw. At this point, he's already established. Like we said, we get the flashbacks of most of those traps happened already. So he's already kind of infamous once we pick up in this movie. So I like that as well. It kind of puts you right into it. Yeah, I love this movie. This franchise is near and dear to my heart. I'm going to try to not like mention the other movies and the sequels. Like you said, we're going to be doing our rankings in a couple weeks, so it's going to be hard to not mention them and draw comparisons. But just talking about this first movie, I agree with you. I think it's definitely etched itself in horror history, especially with that ending. Like I do remember the first time I saw this, and I didn't see it in theaters as well, but the first time I saw it, my jaw was on the floor. I was just like, with the music going, I remember being like, wait a minute, like what? He's what? It was insane.
I know.
I will say the Zepp twist, I mean, was kind of obvious. That's one of my nitpicks. They kind of made it a little too obvious, but the main twist at the end, I was like, holy shit, like. It doesn't get much better than that.
Fucking good.
With that soundtrack, dude. It's and then every time I watch it back, it's just timeless. I love it.
It's an all-timer horror soundtrack, horror theme.
It is.
That theme.
It's
an all-timer.
It's so good. It is. And
I like
obviously
how you mentioned the transitions too, because that's a theme in the Saw franchise that was starting this. How like the transition scenes in this and the flashbacks, that's like a staple throughout the franchise.
Yeah.
I think this one did the most like subtle and like maybe might have most effectively to blend into the story. In my opinion.
Yeah.
The rest of the franchise is kind of like, it's forceful with that a little bit. I don't mind it, but it's kind of
the second one has a lot of has some funny ones that are cool. That they do a good job in the second one. But yeah, I agree with you. Okay, cool. I recommend it obviously as well. So 2 recommendations. Let's get into the full review. This is like full spoilers ahead. Again, we'll try not to like cover and talk about the sequels too much when we talk about this one.
Right.
But yeah, this is Saw 2004, and spoilers ahead. Okay, so we start off. How do you think about? I mean, I personally love the setting of the bathroom, like the dingy bathroom. I think it's so unique, and it's so it's so like stylized and unique. I mean, if you see one like picture of that bathroom, like instantly it's from the Saw movie. Like there's no like. Denying that it's not from the Saw movie. That's how cool and unique it is.
It's an iconic setting because even, I mean, like I said, we're not going to rip the sequels, but whenever they do go to a bathroom, like, oh shit, it's always like a throwback to the first, and it's just so iconic. So iconic. James Wan did a lot because he's smart. He was even smart on his first feature. He know he didn't have a budget with this, but he used it so effectively in that one location and did so much with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It yeah, because I mean, this movie jumps around a lot, but it always comes back. And I feel like when I'm watching this movie, I'm always like, I guess now not at this point because I've seen it so many times, but I remember back in the day, I always kind of like was waiting to get back to the bathroom, if that makes sense.
Right.
But in a good way, not because like I didn't care about the other stuff. It was just like, all right, we're back in the bathroom. Like they're our main characters. I think like Danny Glover is a main character, but these are the people that you really are like intrigued by because you don't really know.
Yes.
They kind of give you little bits and pieces throughout the movie, which I love, like why they're in there and how they're connected. So it really like just draws you back to that bathroom every time they go back to it. So I really like that about that.
Yeah, I agree because they're the two that are trapped. We want to see like what's going to happen. So we always want to be in that bathroom with them to see what the next plot point's going to be, what they're going to try to do to get out. Yeah, I agree. I always want to go back to that. Even though I love the Danny Glover investigating stuff and all that. I really like the flashback with him and his partner when they go to the lair and all that. But yeah, I agree. I think the bathroom setting was like the perfect choice for this like low budget intro to the franchise. And I don't know if there's been a setting in the franchise that's lived up to the like that just grimy bathroom, like just having the whole thing set in there.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's iconic.
As in, when it comes to like isolation, like an isolating like set. I don't know if because there's obviously great sets in the rest of the franchise, but as far as like memorable like that, I'll always remember that bathroom.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure. I mean, when I think of Saw, the first image that pops into my head is that bathroom.
Yep.
More than Billy the Puppet. We'll get into Billy.
Up, yeah. Bloody body on the floor. It's just so iconic. It's so iconic. Blood everywhere. It's so nasty. Billy the Puppet though is the scariest in this movie too.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's talk about it then. Let's go kind of go through the plot a little bit.
Okay.
Obviously, another staple is the tape recordings and the rules of the game. Do you want to go through like when they wake up? So we talked about the body. You talked about the body. We have an apparent suicide in the middle of the floor. And there's a tape recorder.
It's Adam and Dr. Gordon, right? Those are the two guys. Those are their names. Adam.
Yep.
He's a photographer. And then Dr. Gordon's obviously a doctor. So they're both chained. And then, like you said, in the middle, there's a corpse, apparent suicide, but we'll find out more about that. And then there's a tape recorder. And they both find a tape in their pockets, and then they play it. So this is the whole, like you said, the intro of, if you guys have watched Saw, you know that the tape recordings are a staple of the franchise as well. So I love how we get it in this. Love it, love it, love it. And there's something about Tobin Bell's voice. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's so iconic.
Yep.
I met him, and I was like, "Can you please can you just talk?" He's like, "That's just me." I'm like, "Okay."
That's fucking awesome. Talk about great casting. Sick. Yeah.
So,
sorry.
Adam's tape is about like he has to like pretty much survive, and then Gordon's is like he has to kill Adam by 6 o'clock. So like Adam's is like survive, and then Gordon's like you must kill
so
Adam.
Adam's tape they play first.
Right? Yes, I believe Adam's is first.
Okay. Yeah.
But if he doesn't kill Adam, then obviously the tape recording says that his wife and daughter are gonna get killed. All that blah blah blah.
And that's Gordon's tape.
Yeah, Gordon. Yeah, sorry. If he doesn't kill Adam, then his wife and daughter are gonna be killed. But they also find 2 hacksaws with them. They each have a hacksaw. There's a bag inside the toilet that has 2 hacksaws, and they right away they start to try to get out, and Adam fucking destroys his saw right away.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Dude, that chain is like an inch thick. What did you think is like this rusty saw?
But Gordon's like, oh, because he's a doctor, he's like, oh, these aren't intended for the chains, they're intended for our feet.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Stupid. I know.
And he knows because he's heard the story. He explains, he's like, oh, I know who's doing this because I was a suspect. And he says it's the Jigsaw Killer. So we know our killer is called the Jigsaw Killer, which is such a badass name.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, such a badass name. So pretty much he's known for making his victims go through traps and try to survive his games. And Gordon knows about this because he was once a suspect. So it's a good
Yeah.
little hint. I
He
like
was
how it's all
framed.
interconnected. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he was framed. We get some flashback sequences of that. Yeah. I want to talk about Tap and Sing. Danny Glover, dude. I think really.
I get so bummed at the ending every time.
Yeah, I know. I know. Me too. Uh, he's
Well, he
good
was a
though.
dumbass in one scene, though.
I mean, I like that he's only in this movie.
Me too. I would have
In a
been
way,
too corny
it
if
would
he
have
was
been
like the staple. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a like A-list larger than life actor, but he does so well in this movie that if he became one of the faces of the franchise, I don't know if
Right.
I would have liked it as much. I mean, I would have liked it, but he has such an impact on this first movie, and
I agree.
it's one of the things that distinguishes the first movie from the sequels. Is one of his
And
his performance that I like.
I agree.
That yeah.
And I think that, I mean, we're jumping around, but I think that it's almost you're expecting him to make it to that bathroom at least before he dies, but he doesn't even make it to the bathroom at the end. It's
Yes.
also so shocking that he doesn't make it and
Mhm.
Zeb gets him. I always thought that it was me the other way around. He was going to make it and then there was going to be some twist, but he doesn't even make it to the bathroom to like before he dies, which is pretty, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean,
like
we can
that
jump
choice,
around because
yeah.
the movie jumps around.
I mean, it's
so
been, I mean,
we'll
anyone
get
who's
that.
watching this has seen Saw, so.
We've all seen Saw. I mean, if you haven't seen Saw and you're watching this, then you don't plan on ever seeing Saw.
But we
think
should
so.
add that. I mean, you guys know about the movie, but the reason why he's a suspect, Gordon, is because he was discussing like terminal brain cancer in front of a patient, John Kramer, and that's when he was interrogated by the two detectives because they found his like pen light he was using while discussing it at one of the scenes. So that's why he's involved in all this. But it's important, obviously, to bring up John Kramer being a cancer patient.
Yeah, and our first trap, like real trap. I mean, I know the bathroom is technically a trap, but what did you think of the razor wire maze? That
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
I think
cool.
this movie, and again, I don't want to make too many comparisons, but just talking about this movie, I said the traps aren't in the forefront, which I like, but these traps are so like memorable. Maybe because it was the first, the razor wire, the flammable jelly room, and then obviously the reverse bear trap is the most iconic.
Right.
But even the other two, and then we have the there was one other trap too. The guy in the chair, right?
Oh yeah, well yeah. I forgot about him too.
The drill bits, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also memorable because we're trying to introduce to his like theme of how we're so like the people are so ungrateful to be alive, and I know I just so unique like his little like whole spiel. I don't know. I never thought
they're presented as montages, like
yeah. Quick.
No, I agree. They're presented as like quick montages, but the way it's directed and like the stylization choices is so cool. Like especially with the razor wire, you have this guy, and then you have like the fast forwarding through it with the intense music and stuff. So it kind of it doesn't take its time like the sequels, like when you get like longer traps, but it really like gets your heart rate up, and I think that's why they're memorable.
And I think it's because, like you said, it's not they're there, but James, this is the only one he directed. He still knows that to captivate it. Not that I'm talking shit about the sequels, but to captivate us, it's still going to be story first for him. That's just an added thing, those traps to get us on edge here and there. He still wants to pull us in with the story at the forefront, rather than the traps, which obviously as you get through the sequels, it's the opposite.
Yes. And it's so funny, like, you know, me who having seen all the movies and all the sequels so many times, whenever I think back to these original traps, like my initial thought is that they're presented like the sequels, where it's like this long like set piece, but then whenever I watch the original, I'm reminded like, no, they're just quick sequences. Like you know, the bear trap is so iconic, but that's a very quick scene. I mean, it happens all like bang bang bang. And
again, kudos, because that's one of the first ones you think of when you think of this franchise, even though it is boom boom quick, like you said.
Yep.
I mean, it's also a combination of his direction and because it's Shawnee Smith in the trap and she's killing it, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about
that. I agree. What's your favorite of the your personal favorite?
We're just gonna go with the traps, right? Not the bathroom. I think it might be.
Yeah, not including the bathroom.
The only thing I wish when I was doing my obviously I've seen this a shit ton of times, but I thought maybe I get why he did it, but I thought maybe because we're supposed to be watching Dr. Gordon like watch her recount this. She's in the police station watching her recount these events.
Yeah.
She was like a heroin addict, right, or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, I almost wish that they showed like they did a flashback to the trap first and then showed her in the room after because we already knew right in the beginning of the scene that she was going to make it out.
Yeah.
So it kind of ruined the suspense a tiny bit. But
Hmm.
I was still even with that, I was on edge. I'm like, oh my god, it's going to click, click, click. That's my only little nitpick because I knew she was going to make it out. But still, it's still intense. But
It
I
is a
think that might still
nitpick.
be my favorite. Yeah.
It's a valid nitpick, but like you said, even though we know she makes it out, this is the brilliance of James Wan. Like
Yeah.
during the sequence, you're still like you don't know if she's gonna make it out, even though you
Right.
know she's gonna make it out because the way it's shot, it's
Right.
so well done.
And it
Yeah,
does make it more emotional because we cut back to her like sobbing and kind of describing it. So I think that's why he made that choice because we got the emotion out of it with her.
hmm
I think I like that choice. I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't know if she made it out, but it's cool. It's cool because obviously, we'll get more of her eventually.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that that bear trap is like the most iconic to come from this movie, and really maybe the most iconic in the franchise.
Yeah.
Because
Is that your favorite in this movie
she's the
too?
one that escapes. The bear trap doesn't work. Like she escaped
Right.
it, but it's still so iconic because of the way it looks and how unique it is. Isn't
And
my
because of what she
favorite
does.
and what she does. Yeah, that's kind of a mini twist in itself. Do you think the guy is dead? And she thinks he's
Right. He
dead, and
opens.
then yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
fucked up. It's hard not to go with the bear trap. I do got to give like shout out to the razor wire and the flammable jelly, dude. The
Yeah,
fact that
that's
he has to
nasty.
use the candle to like see the
Yeah, I know.
combinations, that's
It's
pretty
all clever.
diabolical.
I
That's
mean,
pretty
there's not a
cool.
bad trap in
Yeah.
this movie, but yeah, I agree. Um,
The razor wire to me, it isn't my favorite because I don't think that's escapable. That seems pretty impossible to escape, and I know that's his whole forte is to give people a chance. But
the opportunity.
I mean, that guy was like not in the best shape. He was like in his underwear. He barely got halfway. I think they said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, for me personally,
maybe there's a better
that's the
way
one I wouldn't want
to
be in.
escape that.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh
For
yeah,
me personally,
for sure.
that's the
I
one that
mean,
would terrify me. I'd rather get the bear trap, just get it done. Kill
oh
me.
yeah,
But for
definitely.
me personally, like,
And
if
she
I'm
didn't
talking
have
about
to
personal
endure
fears,
any.
that one,
Yeah, you're talking about the razor wire.
yeah. For me personally, that would be the most terrifying for me. But to watch, it was the most intense to watch the bear trap. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that. Probably the my least favorite that I would want to be in is probably the drill. Like hearing the drills like coming at you from the side that's pretty fucked up. But I would say that's probably my least favorite trap overall in this movie.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a little less memorable for me. Yeah, I
Okay.
know it's funny because the bear trap, like, she has like scars from like when they put it
Yeah.
on, but she didn't have to endure any like personal pain. She just had
Oh, it
to
was all
like
mental
dig
for
through
her. Yeah.
this other guy's stomach. Yeah, so
She's
it's
fucked
so
up
good,
in the
man.
head. No.
I know. So iconic.
Oh man, yeah, it is. It is. I really like that sequence a lot. It's very, very good. I want to talk about the scene when the two cops go to like again. It's like a jump around movie, but when they go to try to like apprehend him and they find him, Jigsaw, his lair.
Oh,
Gosh,
I'm
that
glad
scene-
we're talking about this.
It's
Well, how do you?
it's a cool
How
sequence.
do you feel
but
about it?
Pisses me off because they're so fucking stupid.
I know
They're so stupid.
this is probably
I
my
hate it.
least favorite scene. That I just cringe
It's
every
cool
time I
because
see it.
like that. I like that Jigsaw's in that robe and he looks all cool.
Uh-huh.
But and that guy isn't. There's a trap. The guy, yeah, like you said, that guy, the trap right there with the drills. But I don't know. They're just so stupid. The cops. They're so
I know.
stupid.
I know.
I would just fucking shoot him. Just fucking shoot him. It drives me crazy.
I know. The reason I don't like it, is one because they're stupid, but two, it kind of like makes Jigsaw like less like it kind of demeans Jigsaw in a way because like it relies on them being so stupid for him to get away.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like it's like really
He-
that was your plan?
I get what you're saying, but he's like the reason why they're so stupid because he's not shutting the fuck up. He's getting in their head with his whole like speech the whole time.
I
And
know.
then
I know.
fucking Tap. I just get so mad when what's his partner's name again?
Sing?
Yeah, when he's actually finally shoots the trap to end it, but then fucking Tap looks away, and that's how he gets his fucking throat slit. I'm like, dude, just fucking shoot him.
I
Your
know.
partner already got him. I hate him in that scene. I don't hate him. I just hate his decision making in that scene.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have, I don't know, maybe not done it better, but like maybe constructed that scene a little better so you weren't questioning the detective so much and screaming at the TV, but maybe that was intentional.
That's all I do. That's all I do is scream at the TV
yeah.
at that point.
It was necessary though because this moves the plot forward and we get Detective Tap in current day. He's now
Right.
not on the police force. He's kind of like a recluse in this apartment, and he's staking out Dr. Gordon's apartment.
Right.
Because he's obsessed that he thinks he knows that Gordon has something to do with these killings.
Right.
So I think he still thinks that Gordon is Jigsaw at that point, right? Because that's the reason he's staking out.
He's the one, because he's the one who hires Adam to take pictures of him.
Yeah.
He does get his throat slit though, so he also has that cool whisper.
Yeah.
Kind of voice.
yeah.
And I think that's this cool shot when his partner gets killed down there when he like goes over again stupid, but he walks through the wire and he gets like fucking a bunch of shotguns. Mm-hmm. And Jigsaw crawls away. I like that part, but I'm just like, damn, these two cops could have really taken him down.
I agree with you. I always yell at the TV as well. It's now I just laugh, but yeah, kind of silly.
It is silly, but what I think the scariest scenes in the movie, like suspense wise, are when the little girl, Gordon's daughter, gets like captured when he's in the fucking closet. Zep,
that was a cool sequence.
That was a cool scene. And then the mom comes in and he's like just under the covers in front of her bed. That's scary. That was pretty scary actually. Mm-hmm. That was really creepy.
Yeah, it was.
That shot. He's like talking really creepy too.
No, that was really creepy. I like that.
That, and then the scene when they actually go back to when Adam and Gordon remember like what happened to them before they were drugged. I thought those two scenes, like Adam's scene specifically, was really creepy when he's walking through his apartment because Billy does the laugh, like the puppet laugh, and then he sees Billy on the couch, and then he keeps. I always love in movies when they do the flashing shit. So he takes his camera and he's like flashing through his apartment.
Yeah, I
love that shit. It's so suspenseful. Again, he's pretty stupid in that scene too. I would just leave that fucking apartment, but yeah. Whatever. We gotta have a movie.
Yeah,
so he just goes through it.
Yeah.
But I do like how when he does his flashback, we do see that he has pictures of Gordon all over his apartment too. So that gets you kind of intrigued about what the hell's going on. We find out in Gordon's flashback he was like either about to have enough. He claims that he wasn't cheating on his wife, but he was about to cheat on his wife, so he was an asshole. We flash back to that, and then we get his creepy parking lot scene with the pig mask. We didn't talk about the pig mask. That's also another iconic shit.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
The pig, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I like those two. What do you feel about like Gordon's flashback and Adams? I thought they were really well done, specifically Adams, but they were both really good.
I agree. I like Adams a lot. That's kind of become a little, like you said, a little cliche. That's been done before, and it's been done since. But I do like it. I think it's done pretty well here. I mean, he shouldn't have. Like, I agree with you. It's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, come on. Like, come on, man.
Get out of there, dude.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I yell at that scene too, but I love that scene.
Yeah,
it is
me too.
Suspenseful.
I like the pig masks. I actually think it really works. I think it'd be a little corny if, like, I could see if it wasn't like done so well, like other franchises using like the Billy mask too much, and like instead of the pig mask, you have like the Billy mask at all times. But that would be too much. I think I like the different layer of the pig masks when they're in person abducting people, and then you get the Billy the puppet. The Billy the puppet is just a puppet. He's never like a person.
He talks. He could talk. He's part of the tape recording sometimes.
That's true. He does talk.
Tells him,
yeah.
He rides out to Amanda.
Does he talk in the first one? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, it is iconic staple of the franchise too.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool that Saw has Jigsaw, like the actual killer, Billy, and we have like the puppet like mask for some people to wear. This is pretty cool.
And then the pig masks.
Yeah, the pig mask. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so
Pig-
I
it's all
like the different
three.
layers to that, and I think they're
Me too.
well done. Yeah, I
Um,
none of them are really explained, which is fine. Like why they
no,
chose
creepy.
Billy
Do we?
and
I think we might see him in the sequel, like making Billy.
he did.
Or
We
something
do,
like that. Maybe
but
that's
still,
yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of is just like one of
Yeah,
those like.
yeah, no,
It's
just
actually
like,
kind of
what's his
cute when you
inspiration?
see Tobin Bell like making the little like he's painting the face and stuff. It's like, oh, he's got a hobby.
Poor guy. Yeah, no, it's so weird because you kind of like you don't feel bad for Jigsaw, but you kind of do. He's dying and all that cancer patient, but whatever.
You really, I mean, you never feel bad for him.
I
I
don't
root
feel
for
bad
him
for him.
because I always root for the villains because I just think it's fun. But yeah, I want to talk about the discourse of Jigsaw. I'm sure you've seen it online and stuff.
There's discourse.
You have like the Jigsaw
Discourse,
defenders that say that he's not a serial killer. Like,
Oh, he's a killer.
He's
Yeah,
technically not a killer. Like, dude,
no, he's a killer.
he's a
Come on.
killer. Like, let's put
He
that
does
to
not
bed.
anticipate every single person and make it out of his traps alive.
Yeah.
He knows.
The reason these people die is because they were put in that situation. While yes, technically they could have escaped,
right.
that doesn't absolve him of the killings. Oh, but they killed themselves. Like, no, no,
Right.
no.
Right,
Let's end
and
that.
even if they're bad people, or honestly, some of them just made mistakes. They're not all bad people. Some of them just do do a couple bad things,
Mhm.
and we all have done bad things. So it's not really his choice to be like the jury and the executioner, and he is.
Yeah.
But specifically the first one is these people. I mean, Amanda, she's like has a drug issue, and she's not like she's not like a horrible person like in some of the sequels.
Yeah.
And some of these other, Gordon's an asshole. He's cheating on his wife, and I mean, I know why Jigsaw chooses him because of the whole cancer shit, but they're not like horrible people.
Well, yeah, he's not like with Amanda and stuff. He's not doing these traps to like punish bad people. He's doing these to like teach them life lessons. You know, like, yeah.
Specifically the first one.
Yes.
Because as the franchise goes on, it's like bad people.
Well, yeah, because then you get different accomplices and stuff who have different motives, so that kind of gets muddied. But yeah, for sure. In the first one, his intentions are to try to like with Amanda is a perfect example, like make her like realize a life lesson and go through this experience and hopefully come out the other side if she does live. So it's not really punishing bad people. It's just,
no,
teaching
the first
them.
one, it's not. It's like appreciate pretty much like you don't appreciate life. You don't take your life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't appreciate that you can have a capable full life while I'm here dying.
Yeah.
And I love you guys know I love dark endings, so I love when he tells Adam, he's like, oh, but not you. I fucking love the ending. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I do prefer actually like his motive in the first one versus the sequels, because it's actually like kind of like, oh shit, these I'm like, okay, I'm gonna appreciate life now.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the two sequences though with Adam and Gordon thrown back, and then I like the mystery because I think we still don't know. I mean, I kind of like when I was watching the first, I'm like, all right, it's not just this Zep dude. You kind of know he's a little bit of a dweeb to be doing all this alone.
Yeah.
But I still like the mystery to get to the point A to Z at the end of the movie. Like you said, and mixed in with the detective the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Because he thinks it's Gordon the whole time. You don't know, and you kind of don't know. It's like, are one of these people in the bathroom, like, just, like, acting, doing a performance? Like, is one of them the actual killer? You don't, like, the first time you watch it, you really don't know what to think until the whole reveal of it all.
Yeah, we get, we have the scene, we kind of didn't touch on it, but where he finds the box, Gordon finds the box with the cigarettes.
With the cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets the cell phone. So once he gets the phone call,
a one-way cell phone.
Yeah, once he gets the cell phone and you realize that, his family's being captive, like you pretty much know that you pretty much knew already because you knew it wouldn't have been that easy that he was the killer the whole time.
Oh, no.
That Tap was actually like right. Like we knew Tap was not right. And then once his family gets put into it and he gets the calls from what's it called? What's his name? I always forget his name.
Zep.
Zep. Yeah, I was Zep and Tap.
But it's really his wife who talks to him. his wife is the one who tells him, he's like, don't trust, like when he gets the phone call from Zepp, his wife's like, don't trust Adam. So he gets on his head even more.
Yeah.
To do his mission and kill him,
So you touched on it. I want to hear your thoughts on Gordon. You're not a big fan of Cary Elwes?
I actually really like Cary Elwes. I just don't know if he was like rusty or something before he filmed this movie. But
The Princess Bride, man.
Scenes are like, yeah, he's good. I love him.
Yeah.
Like, he's an iconic actor. But some of the scenes in this movie, I'm like, oof.
Do you have any in particular?
That, my dude. Pretty much once we get to like the third act, like the entire third act.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't really feel that way.
It's so bad. It's so over the top and bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I guess. I've never really looked at it in that regard.
And like when he gets so upset, he's like starts screaming like when he finds out his family's held abducted, and he's just like, it's too much. It's way too much. I don't have a specific line. I probably could have, like, I rewatched it. I can give you a line, but it's really bad.
So it's just his overall. There wasn't like specific lines. It's just like his overall performance.
No, I think he's fine in the beginning, and then as it goes on, where he has to get more like emotive, it just gets a little bit too cringe. No,
interesting.
To the point where after he cuts his foot off, he's like, ugh. It's like, I gotta go. I'll be back. After he cuts it. At the end, it's really bad. And I don't know. I thought Leigh Whannell, even though he's not a real actor, he is an actor.
Oh, he is.
But he's not Cary Elwes actor.
No,
I thought he like outshadowed him in like every scene.
Interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind next time I do my watch, because
watch it again. Just watch the third. Watch like once you hit the halfway point to the end, just take note of his.
I mean, I know
performance.
I'm seeing the performance in my head, and it doesn't. I guess it's not as cringy for me, but now that I have you in my head as well, I'm probably gonna pick it up on it. Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, it's really cringy.
So like when he's cutting off his foot and stuff, you're saying, like, because I don't mind
like the
that.
actual cutting's fine, but right after he cuts it off, he like flings the and he crawls over, and then his face is like, that's a makeup department, his face is like so freaking pale, and he's like putting his face against Adam's, and he's just like, all right, I'll be back. I gotta go or else I'm gonna bleed out. I'm like, okay, stop. Just fucking do it.
Yeah,
he like yells and shit a lot. He like, I don't know, it's really bad. I just think it's super bad.
Fair enough.
I feel bad because I do like Cary Elwes and he's awesome, but it's pretty cringy in this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe he took a couple years off before he signed on to this one or something. I don't know. That's my like biggest. It doesn't take me out of the movie, but it kind of does it in certain scenes. That other than that, I don't really have too many nitpicks besides the typical horror movie like dumb character decisions. But that's you need that in a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think Leigh Whannell, and because James Wan actually wrote this with him. They know how to. I mean, this is a tight script. They know how to make a good story. And they with his direction when Leigh Whannell's writing. Leigh Whannell's writing. It's an ace. They're a good duo together. I wish they did more now. Still. I don't have any complaints about the script really at all.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about the one of my favorite scenes is when Zepp comes into the bathroom and gets attacked by Adam. I like that scene a lot.
I love that scene with the toilet, the toilet cap. Yeah, it's so good. It's intense.
Yeah, it is intense.
It's so intense.
No, I like it a lot.
So I didn't think Adam had that in him. I'm like, yes, Adam. Finally, someone's doing something.
Yeah, because Adam is still he's still chained.
He's chained up.
Yeah. But he comes out of nowhere and
fucks
out. Yeah.
Well, it's because after Gordon, he cuts his foot off, he crawls to the gun, and then she shoots Adam, and we don't know if Adam's actually dead or not. And, obviously he's not because he's playing dead, and then Zepp comes in, he's about to kill Gordon, but then Adam saves Gordon because Adam's the bro of the movie. Mm-hmm. God, Adam. And he's the one who suffers the most.
Yeah. Clearly, you have a favorite here.
If it's between them two, I'm like, damn, Adam all day, every day.
Yeah.
Kill Gordon, get Adam out.
But then that's when he kills Zepp, and that's when he finds the tape. He searches Zepp's body, and that's when it's revealed.
So after Gordon like crawls out, does his slow crawl out, then he finds the tape. It's actually I putting myself in Adam's position is so terrifying because in my head Gordon's about to die like halfway up the hallway. He's not making it because he's losing so much blood, and I'm stuck here by myself chained up with no way out besides looking through this dead body right now, just hopefully see if he has a key or something in his pocket, and he finds a fucking tape recorder. How much would that like kill your hopes when you find out that he's part of the game too?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would just be like, I don't even know. I'd be like, just kill me now, whoever the actual killer is. Just do it. Get it over with.
You know, it's funny because in a way, when you think about it, it's kind of better that Zepp isn't the killer and he's part of the game, because that means the killer is possibly still out there, or not the killer, but whoever constructed this game. Right. So maybe there's hope that Adam can survive still. I mean, if that's the killer and you believe that Gordon's not making it out, then you're fucked. But the fact that it was just another jigsaw piece, pardon my pun, to the puzzle, and it wasn't the actual like person who made the game, I understand, like from your point of view, like, yeah, like that's totally like a mind fuck. But almost in a way, if you think about it, that almost gives Adam a little hope that because the killer is still,
but he's like, fuck, I have to play another game.
I know.
Fucking game or something.
I know.
I do want to say, I like the acting between the wife, Monica. I think her name's Diane or Diana, whatever her name is. Her and the daughter, when they're on the phone with Gordon, that's what I'm saying. Like their reactions and like emotions are so much better than Gordon's. Like when they're playing off each other, like I feel their fear and pain. The little girl kills it in the movie. Like her cries are so good.
Yeah.
And I like that the mom fights Zepp back a little bit. She does something stupid and she looks away when she has the gun pointed at him because the stupid daughter screams. But she gets back and she stabs him in the leg. And then I love that the detective, Danny Glover saves them before he goes to chase Zepp. So I think I like that sequence too when they have a little fight scene. I always love a badass female character fighting back. I really like that. But and I like the excuse that she doesn't shoot Zepp because her only hope of finding out where her husband is by not killing Zepp, because she's like, tell me where he is. If she shoots him, she's not going to find her. She doesn't think she's ever going to find her husband again. So I like that. But the best scene is the best sequence is right now when Adam's searching Zepp and finds that tape recorder.
I like it too.
Once he hits play on that shit.
Yeah. Real quick before we get to like the ending, I love the scene where Gordon and Adam turn the lights off because they think they're being watched.
Oh,
and they have.
Oh my god! This talk about cringe. This is cringy too.
It's so fucking great though, because knowing the ending and knowing who's in the middle of the room, like he's listening the whole time.
What the fuck are they trying to do?
It's so.
I love how Gordon's like, he's just like, okay. He's like, not even. He's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Stop what you're doing.
I know. But see, to me, that's not cringy because it's if you're looking at the meta of their universe, they're trying to act and they're not actors. Yeah. So to me, that's a little more acceptable.
No, the cringy part is when Adam does the actual performance of choking and getting poisoned. Yeah. But it's funny, like that's obviously purposeful. Yeah. Like he's like that's supposed to make me giggle a little bit, you know.
I know. If I was Gordon, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
He pretty much is like, okay, he's dead. He's like, fuck, that didn't work. But I do love once Adam drops how Jigsaw is such a fucker. He zaps him right away to just show that, you know, you're not going to get one over on me.
Yeah.
I love the zapper. I love the zapper.
Yeah, and it was Jigsaw. It was Jigsaw who had it the whole time. It wasn't Zap.
He uses that shit again.
Yeah. So yeah, then we get the iconic score kicks in, and all of a sudden the man in the middle of the room is not dead. He rises. Oh, it's so fucking good.
So fucking good. So we find out that
it still gives
had
me chills.
Poison running through him. Every time I watch it, I get chills. Yeah. Every time I watch it. So Zepp is part of the game, and he had poison running through his system. You know, apparently, and the antibody, whatever, he'll get it if he succeeds and plays the game, and you know all that. So it's so good. Yeah. It's so fucking good. And then you, like you said, you see Jigsaw's the dead body slowly rise up, and the way it's shot, Adam's in focus, and you just see behind him something. It's so like James Wan fucking killing it
for a first time director, man.
Yeah,
he came out with a bang. Like he directed the shit out of some of these shots.
Yeah, it's so awesome the way he rises. He's like, the key to that chain is in the bathtub, and you're like, oh my god, it was there the whole time. When he first woke up, he fucking hit the thing and it went down the drain. I'm like, oh, Adam. I would be so pissed. I'm like, I had my way out the whole time and I fucked it up.
Yeah.
It's
so good.
like
I know.
a downer ending, but so good.
I know. It's so good.
Good. I love how he like rips the top because it's obviously looks like he blew his, but he rips the top of his head and it's all the makeup and it's just like, oh, it's all perfect. It's just so perfect, so perfect. And when you get that first game over, you're like, oh shit.
Poor Adam, dude.
Fuck.
He grabs the gun and he's just like trying to shoot him, and obviously there's no bullets, and he gets zapped.
And he gets zapped too. Yeah. And then I forget the specific line, but he's like, something about like most people aren't grateful, but I give them a chance, but not you. Like you're like, oh no, Adam,
I know.
you're done. And then it's just game over. Oh, it's so iconic. It's so good. And I love how it ends on just the screams of Adam.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it ends, and that's how you cut the credits. It's so fucking good. Yeah, again, I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but that is the best ending of the entire franchise.
Oh, I mean, that's obvious.
It's iconic. It's a classic. Yeah.
It's like you said, it's a classic. I mean, you can't replicate that. You can't have a better ending. I don't care. It's so good.
That's the first time you hear that. I mean, now every single finale, which thank God it has that score, but if something hits about the first time in the first movie, when it does that, you're like, dun dun dun. I'm like, oh shit! Here
I know.
We go. It's so good.
I know.
It's so good. Yeah, fucking.
And like me being the John Kramer fan now because I love the franchise. Watching this back, like when that music kicks in, I'm dancing in my chair. I'm like, yep, here we go.
Like, get ready to get up. Let's go, dude. Get up.
So great.
And how fucked up is it that he's there the whole time? It's so fucked up.
Oh, I know.
Fucked up.
And you have so many questions, right? I mean, there's so many questions, like how the hell did he stay still for so long, and I love how that's answered in future installments. You kind of get like the behind the scenes of how he set up that first game, which is, again, that's a testament to how iconic that bathroom is, that they kept going back to the original movie to kind of explain things because they knew audience would appreciate that, and it's so good. Did how many of these movies, I always forget, did Leigh Whannell write?
How many are there?
No. Did Leigh Whannell help write?
I think it was the first couple, like the first four maybe.
First four.
I don't know if he wrote the first four. It's definitely after like four he like got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been the first three actually he wrote.
First three?
Yeah. The first three. Yeah, it is the first three. He wrote the first
three. That makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty...
I mean, no spoilers, but yeah, it makes sense for me.
Solid trilogy. Yeah. But yeah, I love how, especially in the first three movies, it kind of all intertwines. It's done so well. Right. I love it so much.
Yeah, this is definitely one to watch like back to back. It's specifically the first three.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get like a nice solid trilogy story going up, wrap around. But this is the only one that James Wan directed, obviously.
Yeah. Jackie isn't familiar with this franchise, so we started our watch of this franchise, and she knew bits and pieces. She actually didn't know the twist at the end of this movie, so it was really fun seeing her reaction to that. And so we just finished the third one, so we just kind of wrapped up the trilogy, and yeah, it's so good to watch back to back to back. And this first one is such a different tone than every other one.
I agree.
With maybe Spiral has kind of a similar tone, but it's nowhere near the movie that this one is.
Pales in comparison.
Yeah, again, not to...
In every way. Yeah, but in every single way.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah.
But I will urge people, like that you said that, because people look at the franchise as torture porn. You know, it is. I mean, I love the track. That's why we love Saw. But if you don't like that, go back to the first one, because it's not that. It's a mystery. It has some bloody scenes, but it's really intriguing. It's about the suspense and the mystery in these characters. It's not about going to the next trap, which makes this one special and a great start to the franchise. It is about the story and the kickoff to this Who's John Kramer. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think if you guys think that, go back to this first one and just rewatch it. Mm-hmm. It's not like that. It's not about the traps.
No, and even talking about this franchise in our franchise rankings, when I talked about it, the sequels get out there and the story gets very convoluted and there's a lot of moving parts, but I still enjoy it, and I think the story is still kind of at the forefront. You know, I know the traps kind of bring on a new life in the sequels.
Well, I mean,
but
dude, when you have 10 movies, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
So you gotta outdo the, you gotta get more bloody.
Well, it's not just like you said, it's not just gore porn. Like, it's not like,
no,
a Friday the 13th movie where you can just pop any one of them in and just watch Jason beat people up. There is a continued story throughout, and it does get very convoluted and very confusing. But I think that's what makes this franchise kind of elevated from all the other like gore porn franchises, and that's why
you always want to know what twist ending you're gonna get. You want to know what the dun 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 is gonna happen and what's gonna happen at the end.
That's actually why Jackie never checked this franchise out. She's not like a huge gore person, so she just thought it was like, you know, like another Hostel. And I was explaining to her that like, no, like this is like the first movie is really a detective movie and the story's first, and that's why she wanted to rewatch all these movies with me. So I'm glad she's.
And how does she feel about the first one after rewatch? She didn't feel like it was torture porn, right? Because it's an actual.
No, I think
like
we watched the first 3. I actually haven't really talked to her about her overall thoughts yet. We kind of just been watching them through, but she's definitely enjoying them for sure. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, there's something special about this first. I mean, the ending. Like I said, it's probably one of my top 10 horror endings. It's great.
Yeah, me too. That's a good idea for an episode.
Oh yeah, favorite horror endings. That's a good one too. Yeah, write that down.
For sure. Okay, well that's Saw, guys. That is Saw, released in 2004. I hope you enjoyed the review. I think we covered everything. Do you want to give... I mean, we kind of covered it all, but final thoughts? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I would just say that I really appreciate the detective aspect of it, specifically in this one. And you know, I'm a James Wan guy, so his directing touch is unmatched, and this is the lowest budget movie in the entire franchise, but it still has some of my favorite memorable shots in the entire franchise as well. So that's a testament to him and the writer. I mean, Lee Wan-el. I think Adam is still one of my favorite protagonists in the entire franchise too. So kind of bummed that we didn't get to see him again, but again, I'll take it for that dark ending, because damn, this ending is so fucking good. I do love the whole movie, but the ending specifically is just chef's kiss for me. It's so damn good. When I tell you my mouth was open the first time, like literally on the floor the first time I saw it, not many movies do that for me. And the first time I saw it, even as a 12-year-old, I was already like desensitized. But the first time I saw this, I was like, oh shit, they got me with that twist. Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. I mean, it's a great, like, even if you just watch Saw and you don't want to get to the whole traps and torture shit of the later sequels, just watch Saw for a good horror movie. You know, you'll have a good time.
Yep.
That's what I tell people. You don't want to watch the whole franchise. The first one's awesome by itself, too.
Yeah, because it's a contained first story. Like, you don't need to continue watching it. I mean, it's a pretty bleak ending, but
agreed.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's wrapped up with a nice bow, with a nice twist at the end, and yeah. No, I definitely agree. I love the tone of this movie. It's so different from the rest of the franchise, and like I said before we got into the review, I love how it's more grounded as a first installment. It was able to let the sequels kind of springboard off of it by introducing the concepts of the traps and everything, and then they kind of took on their own life. But it's such a great first installment. It doesn't do like anything like too crazy. Like, it's not out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the twist is insane, but like, it's such a gritty movie. Like, I would recommend this movie even if you aren't like, if you can get past some of the gore, which it's really not that bad because it's so stylized, especially like the traps, like the razor wire trap. It's pretty stylized. If you're just into like a detective movies and stuff, like it's a solid flick on it. You know, if you take out the horror aspects, like that's almost secondary in a way, and that's why I think it stands the test of time. And we talked about it the whole episode. James Wan, dude, his directorial debut.
So good.
I knew he directed the shit out of it, but talking through it with you in this episode, like, he really directed some iconic shots, like you said, of John Kramer at the end standing in the background, out of focus. He did so many cool things with this movie that kind of made it, stand the test of time. And it made a killing. I think you said it made $100 million. Lionsgate.
Yeah, it made over $100 million on like $1 million budget. Yeah.
And then from there, we got a sequel pretty much every Halloween for a while.
A sequel.
Yeah.
Remember, if it's Halloween, it must be Saw. Yep. That was the tagline for so many years. And it's going to come back this year. Speaking of that, it'll be back this year.
It'll be back this year.
September, though. End of September. This month, a couple weeks.
Yep. Yeah, so that's Saw. Look out for our Saw franchise rankings. That's going to be right after Saw X premieres, the week after.
So let me
So,
give you the date again, guys, just to give
yeah.
you it so you have it. It's going to be October 4th. Our franchise ranking will be released. So keep a lookout for that. We're not done with Saw
Yep.
yet.
And that's
For
right
now.
after
Yeah.
the newest Saw comes out. So, if you want to listen to that episode, we're going to be including the new Saw. We did this on purpose so we can include our new Saw. I know we're going to have maybe some recency bias, but we're going to try to rank it as best we can. It's hard when you don't sit on a movie for at least a couple months and watch it multiple times, but we're going to check it out opening weekend because we have to, but we suggest you guys do too and get your updated rankings for that. That'll be in a couple weeks. Why don't we go into, do you want to do the never split up moments first?
Yes, you're gonna go first because we actually tied the last one, so that's exciting.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you go first because American Wolf was your choice, so just let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, we tied for American Werewolf in London. Thank you everyone for voting. That was a fun episode. But I'm glad I'm going first. I mean, because this is like the fucking obvious one that we were talking about before where we're screaming at the TV. But more specifically, the scene where they confront Jigsaw. Dude, apprehend the suspect first. You get him under control.
So bad.
You get him under control, and
Fucking shoot
then
him.
you try to save the guy, and then like you don't take your eyes off him. You don't like do like it's such bad like I'm not a
Everything.
cop, but like I know like police work, like what you're supposed to be doing like at a scene like that, especially when you know that that's the killer. Like he's literally a serial killer at this point, right? Because he has like a body count.
No, yeah.
So
yeah,
like
yeah. Dude, there's a guy in a trap right there.
yeah. Like
so
it's so stupid. Can I just go with like that whole sequence really? I mean, it's such a bad. There isn't like, I guess the decision that I'll pick for my moment is to just not apprehend Jigsaw right away.
Right.
And if he makes any move, just fucking shoot him. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That's gonna be my moment.
I will not argue with that moment because it makes me yell every time. I'm gonna go with the other one that gets me screaming is when Adam's in his apartment and he's hearing fucking Billy laughing. He's hearing shit in his apartment and he keeps going through closer to the noise and flashing throughout instead of getting the fuck out of there. He literally takes a picture of the pig mask, and that's like he literally goes right up to it and takes a picture, flashes, and that's how he gets caught. I'm like, dude, he's someone ready to get out of there. Yeah, so that's mine. Those are two good moments because it's just you're yelling like, get the fuck out. For me, it's like get the fuck out. For yours, it's like just fucking shoot him or take him down already. Mm-hmm. Do something. They're both pretty,
yours is a little bit more classic. Adam has no survival instincts in that scene. Like, dude, come on. Like, what the fuck?
Turn
He's
around.
Like a deer in headlights.
He sees the puppet too. If I saw that shit on my couch,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like doing? Someone's in my house. I need to get the fuck out and call the police right away. I know. So funny.
Oh, it's so bad. But
all right, cool.
It makes the movie. That makes it. Yeah. So those are our two. Those are good moments. Those are really good moments.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into our scores. This should be fun. I'll let you go first since I went first for the moments. Really interested to hear how you score this one.
This is hard because I love this movie so much. Tiny nitpicks. It's a great. It's an all-timer horror movie. Not an all-timer. It's a classic horror movie because of that ending. It's not my favorite James Bond movie, but it's awesome. I'm gonna give it an 8.8.
Okay, 8.8. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great start to the franchise.
Really good. Yeah. To me, again, not spoiling our previous episode, but this franchise is an all-timer franchise for me, and this is the kickoff to that franchise, so it has a special place in my heart. Without, getting into the sequels and getting into my rankings, this first movie is so strong. I will agree with you. There are like one or two moments that I could nitpick, but I mean, like you said, this is so well written, and the ending is so iconic. I'm gonna give this a. It's really tough because I don't want to like miss score this because there are like 10 movies,
I know it's hard.
So it's hard to like conceptualize where my other scores are going to be ahead of time, but I'm going to give this a 9.6.
Woo.
Yeah, 9.6.
Shit.
Yep. It's up there, man. It is up there.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I love that James Wan just kills it in the horror genre. He's killing it.
Yeah. I won't disclose my order for James Wan movies.
Can we get a little tease? Can we get a little tease of
of what?
something of like is obviously I want to know if you like another Saw movie more than this. That's gonna be awesome.
I can't tease that. Yeah, I can't tease that. Yeah. I thought you were talking about like James Wan. Yeah, no, I can't tease that. No.
Is this your favorite James Wan movie?
I think so.
Oh wow.
I think so.
That's cool.
I mean 9.6, there's really nowhere else to go from there. It's pretty that's I mean, we have, it's pretty close to 10 out of 10.
All right, that's awesome.
It's close. It's
filmography.
I don't want to make. I mean, it's so hard, right? Because and I've talked about this before. I love doing this podcast with you because when we revisit all these movies, especially these classic movies that I do love, watching them again and then talking about them usually affects my score. So it's kind of skewed for me to say it's my favorite because I don't know if it is because we have to cover his other movies first. Does that make sense?
It does,
because there is others that are going to be up there too, that are going to be close to that without spoiling too many. But
I'm so excited.
At least
I'm so
one.
Excited for your Saw franchise ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can't give any, and no teaser for that.
I know. Now I'm like, can we just skip a couple weeks and get to this? 'Cause, damn, we have so many to rank.
So you're 8.8. Okay.
What are your feelings about the new one? Yeah, what are your feeling like? What's the hype level for the new one now that we're on here? Because it's going to come out before we do the ranking.
Oh, it's like,
are you hyped?
I mean, come on, dude. It's so. I mean, spoilers for anyone who aren't up to date on this franchise, but this new movie, he's back. I mean, Jigsaw's back. Amanda's back. And we kind of get them in between. It's 1 and 2, right? Not 2 and 3, 1 and 2.
I believe it's 1 and 2.
I think so too. So this is like
I'm just nervous. I'm nervous. I hope they don't fuck it up.
I know. This is like Amanda like really coming into her own as his apprentice and stuff. I know it takes place in Mexico. So that'll be cool to get like a little bit of a setting. It's not in America. The traps look fun. I'm really hyped for the new one, for sure. I mean, that this franchise, I love this franchise, and it's, I don't know. I don't want to overhype it too much.
We'll discuss it in a couple weeks because it's coming.
It's definitely my most anticipated of the year in terms of horror.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're 9.6.
More than Exorcist.
I'm an 8.8. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it always your most anticipated of the year?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of horror, I don't really think there was any. I mean, Scream. This means a little bit more to me than Scream. We've talked about. I'm a newer Scream fan, but even going into the year, especially now that we have the trailers and stuff and we get more details, it's definitely the Halloween season. We have a pretty good Halloween season coming up, but this one I am super pumped for.
I hope it does well. We'll see.
I think it will. I think it was a smart move doing the end of September.
Yeah, they need to step up their marketing a little bit.
You think so? I think it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, all right.
I hope it does well.
Yeah.
And I hope it doesn't get devoured the next week by The Exorcist. But we'll see.
I think it's going to do better than The Exorcist. There's
no way.
You don't think so?
The Exorcist. No, it's not happening.
Really? Who?
I think they should. I really think they should have.
Everyone who grew up watching the original Exorcist is like 50, 60 years old now. So
yeah, they're like, give me my tickets.
You think so? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I don't. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
I just hope they don't devour each other. I hope they don't devour each other.
Yeah, I know.
I hope they both succeed.
So that's next week's episode. We're covering the original Exorcist. Yes. I know you're really excited about that. I haven't really played my cards on that movie. for you. So
Okay.
that'll be a good one for you to hear my thoughts for the first time. Is your dad gonna make an appearance on that episode?
He
I know
should.
he loves
That's
The
his
Exorcist.
favorite horror movie of all time.
Is he excited for the new one?
Oh, he's the one who's like, when are we going? We're going? We're gonna get the tickets? I'm like, yes, I'll get the tickets.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big deal for some people, that movie.
Are you more hyped for The Exorcist than you are like Saw?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I love Saw. I'll be there. I'll be there opening night. But yeah, The Exorcist, I'm more excited for. I mean, we got Chris back, the OG mom. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I just hope they're handled correctly. I'm a little worried. That's the only thing I'm worried about. That they're handled with care.
Fine.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the people, I'm gonna get yelled at, but I adore David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy, so I'm excited to see him back in horror. So I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think most people, love at least 2018, his original.
It's divisive. Yeah,
you think so?
2018 people love. Yeah. I mean,
I think 2018 is the least divisive of his three, and that was his direct prequel. So yeah,
that's the most safe
hopefully
one, I would say, of the three too.
For sure. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up our Saw episode. Thanks everyone for listening. You can find us again on Twitter and Instagram at neversplituppod. Please vote in our poll when it comes out, our Never Split Up poll. Please subscribe to our YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. And that's about it. We'll see you next week for The Exorcist. I'll see you guys later. Bye.